Yo, welcome back to Past the Sticks podcast. I am your host, Jay Brown. Joining me as always is Tsunamic Wave. What is going on, my brother? Long time no, well, we talk,
Yeah,
but like on the
I
podcast,
missed
long
that
time.
song, man. I was in there jamming, and it's been a minute. That's all I can say. I'm glad to be back, though. I hope hope life continue to let us put episodes out.
Absolutely. And shout out to everybody who's checking out the show so far. Jake, Constant, Derek, Lozano. Appreciate you guys watching and checking out. Feel free to comment whatever you want, question, statement, whatever, as we are celebrating 2 years. Appreciate you guys. I know it's been a while since we did the podcast. We was on a hiatus. I know some people who joined in the meantime, as we are now 18,000 people strong on Facebook. Probably haven't even seen our faces. They had no idea who actually ran the channel, right? They probably
Yeah,
thought it
it's
was
been
just
a
some
minute.
obscure people. But this is still a podcast. We love gaming. We love retro gaming and everything. So as always, Tsunamic Wave and we are a team. I know some people didn't know if this was one person, three people. I heard somebody say it was 10 of us. But we are a unit here, man. So appreciate you guys checking out the show. As always, thank you guys for all of the support. I think I could speak for Wave when he said when we say, man, it's so dope to interact with you guys on the daily, talking video games, retro, new stuff, just all of it. So appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm gonna let Tsunamic Wave just address his thoughts on the past 2 years, and then we'll get into what we're gonna talk about.
Well, first of all, I think somebody thinking we 10 people strong is a compliment because it's
Right.
just it's just us two. You know what I mean? So that just means that we putting enough effort out there to keep everybody hopefully entertained with retro gaming and some of the games of today. You know what I mean? And the news of today. These past 2 years have just been a ride for me. Just trying to balance it with family life, teacher life, and author life because I'm a new author as well. Just to put that up there, shameless plug.
Absolutely,
Um,
absolutely.
but yeah, it's just been fun, man. I appreciate everybody for checking us out, checking the page, liking the page, sharing the page, liking statuses, sharing us. Every little thing that you could do to support us. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? It means a lot to me. You know what I mean?
No doubt. Yo, so as always, we always kick the show off. We talk about what games we're playing, but as Wave is talking about the games he's playing, I'm talking about the games I'm playing. I want to talk to y'all. Like, what games are y'all also playing? So while y'all are typing in the comments, and of course, we'll pull it up on the screen, what games y'all are playing. I'm gonna go to Tsunamic Wave, man. What games have you been playing lately? What games caught your eye? What are you playing?
Particularly right now, I'm playing Diablo 4. They got the early beta out for people that pre-ordered it. So it's only been like a 3-day thing from the 17th to today. So today the last day. So once we finish with the show, I'm going back to trying to get some type of grinding in on that. But outside of Diablo 4 for the past 3 days, I've been trying to get my rank up on Apex, which seems to be a common thing that I say on the show. um Hogwarts Legacy. If you know me, you know I'm a big Harry Potter fan. I should have worn my Harry Potter cape just for today. I missed the opportunity on that. So maybe one next time I'll wear it. But so those been the two main games, three main games I've been playing. And I got my other games that you got to touch here and there. I've been playing Resident Evil 2 and 3 in preparation for the remake of 4 that's coming out soon as well. So yeah, that's what I've been playing lately, man. What you been playing, Jay?
So for me, and since we last done it, I've been heavily I played Madden, but only when it dropped. This is the first year I did not buy Madden when it launched. I waited till it came to Game Pass. So I played it. I think it was the day after the Super Bowl. It might even been a few days before the Super Bowl. I played Madden. Same as always. You know what I mean? There's good things about it. A lot of stuff has yet to be addressed, of course. So yeah, like it's one of those things that's just it is what it is. I've also played the GoldenEye remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it. I don't know exactly. You know what I mean? I don't know what to actually call it. It was cool, man. Obviously, it's a nostalgia thing, so it was dope. I love how the Xbox version plays. It sucks that you can't play online on that
Right,
one because I love the way it
right.
plays on that. But I did run through the single player campaign mode, which was dope. And then obviously I've been playing WWE 2K23, which I think so far is the best recent wrestling game. Obviously, anyone who knows like the wrestling games know I'm not putting it up against No Mercy. I'm just not putting it up like the classics, right? But in terms of what we've had these last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, it's pretty strong game, man. And that's just not me being biased. Like I paid money for it. It wasn't like we got it for free or nothing, right? Although I
Yeah.
find out that 2K be giving out codes for the wrestling game. So you probably didn't have to buy it. All you have to do is follow their account, and then they'll be like, oh, here's some game codes, and you just type it in, and you'll get the free game. I had no idea about that. It's pretty dope. I don't think they do that for the NBA game, but they did it for the wrestling game, so which was pretty dope. But yeah, so that's what I've been playing. But I want to get your thoughts on Hogwarts Legacy. When we was doing the show weekly, which we will get back to, of course. Yo, you were heavily like anticipating this game. It is now out. So I want to get your thoughts on it, man.
First of all, the game did not disappoint. You know, well, I just said this a couple minutes ago, so I ain't even gonna have to repeat it. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan as far as the books go, the movies go. So I was thinking that the game was gonna be based on that sort of thing, but obviously with the J.K. Rowling situation that we probably not gonna talk about today, they kind of went 100 years before all of that. Um, and they did a good job. They brought up some of the people before Dumbledore, like his professor is the headmaster. And you just, I mean, it's really hard to just. I have to take my time with this. All right. It's
Right.
literally like you're in Hogwarts. They got the stairs, the disappearing stairs, the moving stairs. They got the Quidditch stadium, which is not even, it's away from the school, so it make you feel like it's like an actual stadium, and it's huge. You could fly around in it. They missed it. One thing they missed on it is that they could have let you play Quidditch. They got a whole bunch of other side games that you could play. That's probably not as fun as if you was able to play Quidditch, but they have a game for that. So I'm assuming that's the reason why they didn't add that into the game. But I feel like that was a missed opportunity right there. Maybe they'll drop a DLC on that. But they got the Forbidden Forest, which is really dope. You could go all through that. The map is huge, right? It's so huge. Even when you got the broom, I mean, they don't have the Nimbus 2000 obviously because it's 100 years before Harry Potter. But the brooms that you are able to acquire, is the map is too big for you to like zip through. Then you get to fly like these mystical beasts, and it's still not fast enough because the map is so huge.
Right.
But as far as the the whole game go is really good. It's worth the buy. It's worth the hours that you're gonna put into it because trust me, once you start playing, you're not gonna stop playing. And they got unicorns in there. They got the centaurs in there, like the spiders. They have everything you could think about when it comes to the Harry Potter world in this game, and it's just 100 years before Harry Potter. So, like I said, it's worth the buy. If you haven't bought it, go get it. If you know somebody that's willing to game share and you don't have the money to buy it, try to get them to share with you. But I'm pretty sure you're probably gonna pay them later on when you could because it's just that kind of game is really good.
Right.
Man.
Yeah, so I played this game. I haven't actually purchased it yet, only because like I no longer am I buying multiple games at the same time, right? So if it's on Game Pass, I'll wait to download it. If it's a purchase, of course, then I'll wait to buy it just so I could put time into it. Because I was going through my game collection, I was like, there's so many games I haven't actually like completed. You know what I mean? There's games that I bought that I didn't even start. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so like at that point, especially if you're still paying the $69.99, sometimes $99.99 for the games, it literally becomes a waste of money because it's just sitting there. Sure, you'll get around to it eventually, but I could have bought the game at that time.
Right.
But the little I played of it, which actually I played some of it on the PS5, it was yeah, man, it was like everything I wanted. It actually made me want to like expedite the process of buying it. It's just I was talking to a few people and I wanted to get going on this wrestling game to see how it was because I know a lot of people was like heavily speculating. So that's what I want to quickly give way to is just looking at this wrestling game, which as we switch gears to that, and look, man, wrestling games is always like, in my opinion, it comes down to a few things: graphics, right? It comes down to how close of an experience is it to the actual game, which I think is dope, man. It's a good game. It's not something that's like
Looks awesome.
It's not world shattering like as we see right now. This is more of the story mode type thing where it's called My Rise. Then there's one for a girl, one for a guy, and then basically you go on try to become the champion and everything like that. Uh, but most people like they just play like the regular play now, right? And I think that game is I think that's the mode that like we all was looking forward to. That's what we really did on No Mercy back in the day. It's just I think the matches themselves that you create, you start out in the gym and then you work your way up to Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, all that stuff like that. Yeah, I really have no quandaries about the game. I think the game is smooth. The graphics is good. It's polished, which is the biggest thing because some of the past games are very buggy, very glitchy. I think even like this is the first wrestling game I would actually recommend to what I would call the casual, right? Who like somebody who's not heavily into wrestling. I think they could pick up this game and have fun with it. The tutorial that they put in the beginning of the game is outstanding. Like anybody, if you know, like unless you're not familiar with gaming itself, anybody could pick up this game and just start playing and have fun with it, which is something I really can't say about wrestling games of the past, which is why I think this is so dope. But I want to quickly just showcase some of the graphics real quick. Only because like I know some people they do like to nitpick the graphics of wrestling games. Why I don't know, because it's like once you get in the ring, if the game is like No Mercy, obviously had terrible graphics. Even at the time, it had terrible graphics. I know everyone like to say back in like no, like the SmackDown games had decent graphics for the game. No Mercy was never good graphics, but yeah, it's still the best wrestling game. So that's just my thoughts on the game. I know some people would disagree, maybe that they'll still say, oh, it's not No Mercy, but I think the game looks incredible. What's your thoughts? Like, I don't know if you played it or not, or just looking at the video, what's your thoughts?
I played 22 and I feel like they did a great job taking time away to actually go over the game and make it like a lot more smoother, make it actually feel like you are a person in the ring. Because I think with wrestling and combat games in general, if you don't do it right, it could kind of look weird, you know what I mean, like almost like you're walking sideways instead of walking forward or back or side to side. If you try and walk forward, you kind of walk diagonal. So I think they did a good job with that. Just making it more smooth, more fluid with the combat system in general. You know, and they made it more playable for people of age, like my age and younger kids, because I was playing it with my daughter. My daughter absolutely whooped my behind in this joint. So it's not hard to play. And I think when you have games like wrestling and in the sports games in general, you can't make it too difficult to play, because like you have to kind of make it palatable for the younger audience too. And I think they get a good job. But looking at 23, you can tell they kind of built off of that. As far as the graphics go, at least I don't really know about the smoothness. It looked smooth just looking at the gameplay before this, but the graphics is crazy. I don't see how nobody could complain about these graphics. Just look at the belt on the waist, right? That's a real good indicator on how the graphics look, because a lot of times when you're trying to put a belt on a person in a game, it don't look like a belt is on them. It kind of like look like it's in the air, if I'm, if you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
But it looked like flesh to his body, like he would really wear the belt. You know what I mean? Even the is that the lay he got on his neck?
Yep.
Even the lay on his neck looked good. It don't look like it's floating in the air. It look like it's laying on his chest, is moving when he moving his body, when he walking. He put his arm up and it kind of slid down.
Right.
So those type of things, just the little things, you can see the improvement on. on the game. So I think this is, like you said, something that the casuals can even pick up and enjoy. I'm a casual when it comes to wrestling because I haven't watched since the Attitude Era,
Right.
but this is a game I would definitely download and play. I don't know about buying because again, I'm a casual. I'm not really up on the wrestlers, but
Right.
I would definitely play it when it comes, if it comes to like EA Play, whatever. I forget the service that you can get it for free.
Yeah. So I mean, it comes to Game Pass. Well, it's not guaranteed, but I know they put it on Game Pass for like a limited time, and I think it was like the stipulation if you download it and then you can still keep it. Obviously, if you play it on cloud, it'll go away, right? But yeah, I thought the game was good. I really have no, really haven't ran into any bugs or anything yet. I've been playing it probably for about a week now. So yeah, I have really no issues with it, which is odd. I'm like looking for it though, right? Because like I
Mhm.
said, the past 8-10 years of wrestling games, it's just kind of been like, okay, it's good, but there's something missing. This one so far for me is the one that felt like it actually hit. So you said you wanted to talk about something else besides Hogwarts. So what do you got?
Oh, the next game I wanted to talk about was obviously the games that I've been playing, which is Diablo 4.
Yep.
That is a game that I don't know if that's everybody cup of tea, but I have been enjoying that since I think I started Diablo 3. That kind of caught my attention. I played it. Um, I was the monk, if anybody know about classes in Diablo. And I kind of ran through it. But Diablo 4 is looking to be something great, man. You know, the beta is just that. It's just a beta. It's just a test. It's just to see, what they need to improve on. How can they get better? Obviously, if you was one of the people that started the beta from the first day, you realized that the queues was really long. They fixed that, which just to me is a great indicator that shows that they paying attention to what they, the game and what they need to do to make it a better game already. And that's literally just in the beta. Now, and I think on the 20, well, let me not say I think, I know on the 24th, they doing an open beta. So if you're not sure if you are a Diablo person, or you just want to check Diablo out, the 24th would be the time for you where you could go, you could download the beta, you could see if it's your type of game, and then you could check it out. But it's I mean, I don't really can't describe it besides the fact that I think it was dope. I don't know if everybody's into the demon games or the demonic games, but it's one of those things where you just got to clear the demons out. You
Right.
walk around, you help people, you save people. Is really no. That's the simplest way to put it without getting too deep into the story of the game because I don't want to ruin it for nobody. It's like a slash and hacker type game for people that don't really know what it's about. But it's like one I can't describe. It's not an RPG, but and I don't think it's an MMO, but it's one of those. The camera view is over the top of the head. It's like almost like a drone view.
Okay.
Um,
Like top down, like old school video
right,
games.
right. It's like an
Okay.
older school video game. Um, which you probably will see right here. But like I said, truly enjoyed it. I think everybody should give it a try on the 24th just to see if it's your cup of tea. But I think Diablo is a great game. Yeah, check it out. I don't really have no critiques on it. Now that besides the queue time, which they fixed, like I said, which just to me shows that they actually care about the fans, and I think that's a big thing when it comes to video games, right? You need your developers to actually care about what you gotta say, because there's some games, Madden 2K, that don't care about what you say.
Right, right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man. So I have not had a chance to play. I'm actually waiting for the open beta, which comes out in a few days, right? I
Yeah,
think it's
24.
24th, yeah. So I'm definitely gonna check that out. Diablo's a great series, man. Like it's that Elder Scrolls. There's just some like franchises that just they may take a while to come out, but when they do it right. You know what I mean? So I'm dead. I'm oh, I see what you mean now with the camera angle.
Yeah,
Huh.
you see.
I kind of like that because, like, although it's like it's obviously it's not reinventing nothing. Like, it's obviously that's how a lot of games were, but now it's different. It's unique again. You know what I mean? Because most
Yeah.
games they want to get that camera right up on you to showcase the graphics. So I could definitely see how this is interesting. Yeah, I can't wait to play this. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I had a lot of fun with the other ones. So, and you said this comes out in June.
I think the release date is. I don't know the release date. Don't get me the line, Jay. I'm
Okay,
not
you know
gonna sit
what?
here and
No problem. I got you right now. Diablo 4. Let's see. Diablo 4 comes out and
I've just been so worried about the beta. I wasn't even thinking about the actual release date.
okay. See, this is saying March 17th, but obviously that's not June 6th. June 6th, 2023. So yeah, June 6th. So yeah, man, like I'm definitely looking forward to Diablo. Is this Game Pass or is this purchase?
Nah, you actually have to buy this one. This is a $69.99 purchase right here. But like I said, I think you right now we just looking at like the beginning of it, but it's a multiplayer game. It's like open world type. When you actually running through the world, you run past normal people that can help you as events. So it ain't just like you just running through a campaign mode. It's a whole bunch of things. It's dungeons to do, is the campaign, the side missions. You could run around with your friends, you could meet up with strangers, you could do, like I said, events. There's a ton of things to do in Diablo. And then I forget what else you could do, but it's a ton of other things you can do. Like I said, I just started playing Diablo at Diablo 3, so I'm not about to act like I'm an expert in Diablo. I played Diablo 3, I played Diablo Immortal, and now I played this beta, so I'm not a Diablo expert. Okay. But I do like the series and I do like the game.
Yeah, so there's something else. We're gonna switch gears right now. And again, appreciate the comments. Let's see. We got Jessica Brown that said 2 years. I know it's crazy. Like it's absolutely crazy. Obviously, she's been there for since the beginning. Kind of wild.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you.
Andrew Armstrong, appreciate it. He said, congrats, appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Talking games. I've seen you in the chat. Definitely have talked some video games.
Thank you, Andrew.
Jessica said, what do you think they can do? I believe this is in reference to WWE 2K23. Only thing they got to do is some of the modes are not online yet. Like there's a GM mode where you're in a, I guess since you were a fan of the Attitude Era, you'd be in the shoes of, let's say, Vince McMahon. You know what I mean? When he was the on-air commissioner, you make the matches and you run the shows and you get ratings. That's what my GM mode is, Wave. You like literally set the matches and then like each week you get a rating. It's a dope mode, fun mode, but it's right now it's only local. So they got to put that mode online. And I think just continue to just clean stuff up. Like I said, I haven't seen any bugs yet, but I do know some people have said there are bugs with the game. So yeah, and always appreciate everybody checking. I see RD Lucas checked out the show. Michael Ariel, appreciate it. Frank Carbone, that's a dope name, Frank Carbone. Yeah, appreciate y'all checking out the show. Now I want to talk about this PS5 Pro. It's rumored that PS5 Pro and the PS5 Slim are coming out, and I've seen some people are not happy with this. Reason why they're not happy with this specifically has something to do with the fact that the PS5 has had stock problems this entire time, right? Which now this is nothing new. PS3 had 2 models, PS2 had 2 models, the PS4 had 3 models. It had a Slim, the regular, and then it had a Pro. So obviously, what would be new about this? But I want to ask you, do you have an issue with this like everybody else? I've seen some backlash. I've seen some fans saying they don't care. Assuming stock becomes available, what's your thoughts on this?
I think I'm one of the I don't care people, man. You know what I mean? I think we knew what that stock short that. Hold on, I didn't do it right. The shortage was about. You know what I mean? They was able to the stock to throw the numbers up. I'm pretty sure those companies that was selling these things was the third parties that was selling the PlayStations for $1,000 on Walmart in StockX, acting like they just making up random names, XYZ, R2, whatever the names was that was selling these joints. Like, come on, we knew those was the companies. We not stupid. They were just taking advantage of the pandemic. All of a sudden, a year after the pandemic, they got everything they needed. When Or did they grow metal trees or something? Like, I'm confused. Like, where did they get the supplies from all of a sudden? Right?
Right.
Because if I'm not confused, if I'm not like mistaken, just looking around to everything that's happening in the world, who is giving the United States this stuff right now? Like, a lot of places are not messing with us right now, but all of a sudden they giving us everything we need for PlayStation. So we already knew what that was about. They was just taking advantage, trying to get their money up even further. So I mean, I'm not mad. I was mad when they, took the PlayStations off the shelf. But they always do a PS Slim. They did the PS2 Slim. They
Yep.
did the PS3 Slim. They did the did the PS4 come out with a Slim? I don't remember.
Yeah, no, it did. Yeah, because the original one had like the little tiers to it, and then they
Right.
put like a slim one. Yeah.
Right. They did a PS4 Slim. So I'm not really surprised. This is just on board with what they've been doing. They make the PlayStation, then they make a slim version.
Would you upgrade because you have a
No.
PS5? So would you have? It's nothing to make you upgrade to a Pro or whatever.
Nah, I'm not even gonna lie. I honestly barely even played the PS5. I was beasting to get it, and now that it's in my possession, like, I'm still playing everything on Xbox. It's just a comfortable thing for me, and it's just something I grew up playing. I had both growing up. I'm not gonna act like I didn't have both growing up.
Same.
So it's just something that, like, I'm just used to doing, having both consoles in the house. You know what I mean?
Right. And because we're in a situation where, like, again, both fortunate, to have to grow up multi-console and still have multiple consoles in the house. Like, that's why I never really cared about the war thing, right? Like, for example, 9 times out of 10, if there's especially with crossplay now, if it's a game like Call of Duty that's crossplay or whatever, I'll usually play it on Xbox. Or, for example, let's say there's something like NBA or Madden, where a lot of my friends who do play that game is on Xbox, so I might get it for Xbox, but I still have the luxury when Spider-Man comes out or God of War, or what, you know what I mean? Still being able to play that as well. Do I care? No, I do think it's a little too soon for it, because I understand the console itself, the PS5 dropped in 2020.
Mhm.
However, it really dropped, in my opinion, in the middle of 2022, because that's when a lot of people got it. I know 2021 Christmas was pretty big for it, but everyone was still paying like the inflated prices.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel like last summer, fall was when we started becoming available. Now I'm seeing them in Walmarts and Targets and Best Buys. But before that, they weren't there. You couldn't just go to a store and buy it. You had to
be rich.
Right. You either had to be rich or lucky. You had to sit in a queue online, and now that's past us. So now I'm like, we're just getting started in the current gen. And for somebody, let's say, who might have just got it for this past Christmas, now to hear of a PS5 Pro, you kind of get that feeling of, damn, should I just waited? Which is not a good feeling. Let's be honest. You know what I mean?
Did they give any my bad for cutting you off.
No, go ahead.
I wanted to ask you a question about it before, like, before I should have asked you this before I made my thoughts. But, like, did they give any details about what's different? So besides the look of the PlayStation?
That's the thing. No, there is no official, because this is rumored, right? Of course, it's like so-and-so saw so-and-so. So there's not 100% rumored on exactly what was seen and things like that. But as always, the PS5 Pro, you usually will be quieter, usually will have like slightly enhanced graphics. I know ray tracing is something that's new to both the new Xbox as well as PlayStation, so I'm sorry that will be enhanced, as it says right here. Mark Cerny, who works at PlayStation, the company, may be looking to upgrade areas such as ray tracing, better visuals, improved performance and speed. So that's typical with all the PlayStation Pros, right? They've always they put out one model, then a few seconds later, all of a sudden they'll come out with another one that's slightly enhanced, slightly better than the last. And I think, although I think that's cool, I'm still kind of like, it might be a little too soon. Now the Slim I'm cool with, because it's the same console, right? It's just smaller, which is important, because the PS5 is gigantic, bro. Like huge. I remember when I first saw one in real life, it was at Best Buy. They had it, and I was like, "Yo, it looked like a statue. Like looked like a legit like monument statue. Like, it's crazy. Like, But so I can see how the slim is cool because, like, for some people, I know people were saying they can't fit it in their entertainment centers and they got to put it on top. You know what I mean? It don't look right, or they got to stand it up on the side. So I think that's cool. But in terms of like, if somebody who hasn't actually bought it yet, I was gonna buy one day, and then literally I went back to the store and it was gone. So like it's stock it, so it's not like I could just go to any store and get it. It's just now easier to get. Now this is making me, based on when this might come out, I might just say I might wait for the Pro, because I ended up getting the PlayStation 4 Pro when I was about to go buy a PlayStation 4 regular. I ended up just getting the Pro instead. So I might, if the Pro would release, let's say later this year, I might just wait. But if it's going to release like next Christmas or even the year after, I'll probably just go get the PS5 now, because I didn't really see much of a difference between the PS4 Pro and the PS4. I know some people swear by it and they said the Pro was incredible. I really didn't see. It
was the same.
I didn't see much of a difference. It was a little quieter. That was about it. So
right, instead of it sounding like an airplane, it sounded like a chopper,
right? Right, like
spider,
sound like it sounded like a smaller airplane, like
like it wasn't no difference in the visuals or nothing.
So yeah, man. So that's really all we had in terms of just like an actual like format. Usually we have a more strict format where we talk about some retro games, more current topics, things like that. So just talking about the anniversary, man. Like, what's your you got anything to reflect on? Got anything to look forward to? Obviously, as now we're out of what I call the dead zone of the gaming year after we come off the Game Awards and things like that, and all of a sudden we literally there's no games dropping the first few months because the Christmas rush is over. Now we have games coming. The wrestling game just dropped last week. I know Resident Evil 4 remakes drop soon. I know MLB 2K23 will be out next week.
Yep.
And then you have games like Redfall. Obviously, there's a bunch of indie games. Starfield is coming. It's delayed technically. I know people, that's been a hot topic. I know some game content creators have been getting killed for speaking out against Microsoft about it. The Activision deal might close in May. I know that there's been hiccups with that. We'll touch upon that soon.
I was going to bring that up.
We'll touch upon that. Yeah. As it's crazy because I remember covering it when it first got announced, and now we're damn near at the time we're supposed to close. So we'll see how that goes. There is a Call of Duty game coming out in November. It's supposed to be a year off, and now there's a whole new game coming in November. So all that coverage we did on that was for nothing.
Made us look crazy, like we don't know what we're talking about.
And we were praising it. We was like, "Yo, this is good. This is so dope for what they're gonna do," and none of it happened.
But look how it worked for 2K22 for wrestling 2K22. Like it helped them tremendously with their game. I don't understand why people not looking at this and taking it. As an educator, one of the things that we do is we take from each other. You know what I'm saying? I see something working in your classroom, I'm going to take that in my class and try to implement that and see if it works too. I mean, most of the time it do. Sometimes it don't, but that's a rare occasion when it don't. Like, you know what I mean? Right. So why not go ahead and follow the blueprint that somebody else then put out there for you? Like, gaming need to be more of a copycat thing as far as like development and stuff go. You know, not the games, just the way that they go about making the games. Take a year off. It's not going to kill you.
And then also, like another thing we'll talk about as we get back on the weekly grind now, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 Tears of the Fallen Kingdom will be out in May. That's confirmed. Redfall will be out the first week of May. That's confirmed. So now we're getting back into it to where like games are actually going to be dropping pretty regularly if they don't get delayed. So literally we have a lot of stuff to talk about. Again, appreciate all the support. I know we have a following in the UK. Shout out to the UK. Shout out to Canada. UK, shout out to Australia. Sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night and people commenting like, "Yo, what do you think about this game?" I'm like, I forgot the time zone difference. You know what I mean? I'm somebody who wakes up early. I'm somebody who wakes up early, right? And I know Wave is the same because I know just times I'll see posts and I'm like, Yeah, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. But then I forgot because of the time difference. The post be like 50 comments by like 6 a.m. and I'm like, yo, it's too early. But nah, man, it's dope. We really appreciate all you guys. UK, Canada, obviously here in the United States, Mexico, Australia, France, Germany. I know some people, I forgot the guy's name. I wish I could shout him out, but he comments all the time. And luckily, thank you for Facebook for having the translate button. This is in Japanese.
I was about to say it'd be
Japanese, so right.
Replying, and I don't know. I gotta hit the G translation, and I don't know how to respond to translate it for him.
Right, right. And I was gonna say, I hope the translate button works both ways so they can see what we're saying back. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. But do you got anything else before we close it out?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I think you forgot to mention is that the Activision deal is bringing some drama between PlayStation and Xbox. So obviously, we're going to talk about all the drama and all of the stuff that, because PlayStation, we'll talk about this. We'll talk about it. But there's a lot of drama in that whole area with that deal going on. Hopefully, they figure that out without too many casualties with that. But like you said, man, shout out to everybody across the globe. Absolutely. That's supporting what we trying to do. We do appreciate it. We just want to talk games and bring some light. If you like, I mean, I'm gonna speak for me personally, but games just help me just transition from the weight of the world to something much lighter. You know what I mean? And it's always good to share that with other people. So
absolutely,
keep it coming.
Absolutely,
keep the games.
And yeah, we'll touch upon the Activision deal next week, because I think one of your theories on what PlayStation's motives were is actually coming true. It's not confirmed or nothing, but now it's starting to be more apparent, I think. And it has something to do with the word being a squeeze on Microsoft's behalf on what they're trying to do, because there's a rumor about Call of Duty being on Game Pass this November.
Sometimes I like being right. Sometimes I don't like being right.
Shout out to Frank Malcolm for checking out the show as we're closing out. But yes, we will be back next Sunday with another show, and we'll play around with the time. I know schedules are tight, but I know some people are like, hey, you guys do the show at certain times, it's cool, but here in the UK it's 12 a.m. You know what I mean? I gotta work in the morning. I was like, I get it. So with it being multi-country thing, multi-time zones, a little tough. But of course, that's why it'll start to appear back in the podcast feed. You can go back and watch the lives as well. But as always, appreciate the support. We'll talk about that, and we'll obviously continue to post daily. So I'm JB as always. Tsunami Wave, close it out.
Hey, yo, we appreciate everybody. We appreciate everybody for coming through. Have a good night. Have a good morning. If you're drinking your coffee or drinking your tea,
right.
Whatever you doing, we appreciate you for coming to see us, man. And come back Sunday.
All right, we out. Peace.